Okay, we're going to do a simple tutorial for how to use MailChimp. We're going to log in. Let's do that. Okay, so you're going to go into your campaigns. That's where you keep all of your newsletters. If you want to check on any previous campaigns, you can also do that. So every time you send out something, if you enable tracking, you can see, how many people have seen it, how many have opened it, forwarded it. This one doesn't tell us a lot. So this is where all of your different newsletters are. I put them in categories. So the ones that go to our Shalom BC newsletter archive are here. So these ones have been specifically changed. So let's say I sent out a campaign and I didn't want it to say dear first name, so I replicated the campaign, I put in Friends of Shalom BC, and I sent it to myself. And once I did that, I have a list specifically for myself for this purpose. So once you do that, you will have a newsletter that the public can look at, and it doesn't have the test first name in it. And if I have, so in here you'll see I sent it to my list that's called test. For my bigger ones, let's go unfiled, for example. So my big campaigns were this one and this one. You see in the emails, it shows you how many people it was sent to. I have a list called newsletter recipients. So if I want to, for example, see the letter, I click here, view email. Okay, you see the test first name I was talking about. This is my campaign. This is our address at the bottom. All of this information is going to be fixed. When you do get that archived newsletter that you do, you're going to have to keep the test email address, unfortunately. So that's it. If you want to see the report, you go view report. And it's really smart. It can see, all over the world, places that have actually gotten your newsletter. And you can see the number of people you sent it to, how many opened it, over here, how many did not open it as well, 140, and all kinds of other information. So yeah, it's very smart, very handy. You can even see what time of day people open it, so people at work open it. Okay, that's pretty much all you have to know about that. Now, if you want one of your campaigns, if you're going to be doing another one for another month, you'll want it to look pretty similar. You want to have the same template style. So, if you're happy with, the one I made, the newsletter I made in December, which, like I said, is this one, we're going to go replicate, and most of the information can stay like the template. Alright, so once you do that, you're going to change the subject line. So I'm going to name my campaign January Newsletter, and this is only going to be for your information. Your newsletter is not going to display that when you send it out. This is the line it's going to have in the email they receive. So let's say, some silly name, and this is your company name, and this is the address they will reply to if they have any questions. And you can also title the campaign for your Google Analytics, which we check sometimes, so I'm going to rename it January. And these are the track opens, like I just showed you the report. This is the option that allows that report to happen. And this is the tag. I'll explain that later. Alright, so I'm happy with that. So the tag is right here. It can be fname or merge one. It has to be written exactly like that. And this is going to get the people who are on your list, their first name is going to be inserted in here for you. It's very smart. It'll do it automatically. Alright, so if you want to change any of the writing in here, you can do that. It's very simple. You can, change the color. You can change the size. here, just your basic stuff. If you want to insert a picture, this is the icon you choose. You go Browse Gallery. These are all the pictures I had before. If I want a new picture, I go like this. Let's say I go like that. Upload selected file. It'll say, oh, it already has something like that. That's okay. I'll just do it again. So I click on it two times, double click. I see it displayed here, and it's the picture I want. Let's say I want it in the middle. Actually, it doesn't really matter, but let's say I want it left. Okay, that's good. And then you click on it if you want to change the size, like this. Obviously, wherever your cursor is where the picture is going to be inserted. What else? If you want to do a hyperlink, you can go like this, and this is the hyperlink. And you can say whatever address you want. Okay, and there it is, it's hyperlinked. I'm just going to undo that. I write little teasers for every section, just so people know what they're about to read about before they go ahead and do it. And that's the basics, really. This is our calendar. Well, here's our calendar. This is where all the important dates go. This is our table of contents. So you put everything in order, obviously, just like in a book. Hanukkah goes first, as it does here. And winter camp and tickets to inclusion, you see they're all in the same order. They don't have to be worded exactly the same, but, generally. And then a nice feature from the Tickets to Inclusion program, if you want to, the newsletter is a great way to get advertising for a show. So if you want to give away some tickets, you can explain when the concert is and what it's going to be. And maybe some of our clients are on our newsletter and they'll read about it and be interested in it. It's also a good way for people who don't know about our Tickets to Inclusion program to see what's going on, or if they know about it, they'll find out what we have coming up next. Okay, so we're pretty much done with this. This area here has been customized. We've already made it so that when we send a newsletter, our address will go here automatically. And this is where they click to unsubscribe. So that's it, and we go next. If we want things to, this plain text message, let's say it doesn't display with pictures in the pretty look that we had just before, at least they'll still be able to read your email. So if you want it to work, just go copy text from HTML, and this green bar tells you, okay, great, I did that for you. And you can check it, you can send a test to yourself. You're limited to 5 tests, so just keep it short. And I usually send it to myself. Alright, so that looks good.
Okay, I will.
Now, let's say I want to send a test. This is my campaign. I pick the list. The list is all the emails it's going out to. I usually send a test to myself or Yael to make sure the first name tag works, that it'll say Dear Sonia, that all the pictures look good, and you can schedule a delivery for later or you can send it now. I like to send it now. This bar up here, I didn't mention it, but this bar up here shows you where in the process you are. So you see this bar is lighter for me right now, and when I scroll over it, it tells me what that bar is about. Cool, right? So if you want to navigate to any other part, you can do it quickly instead of going next, next, next. I guess that's pretty much it. And so I like to send first a test, or you can see a preview of what it'll look like for you. You just can't rely on this necessarily. It's not exactly going to be like that when it's sent out, so that's why the tests work. So that's pretty much all for this. If at any time you want to save and exit, just click here, and it's saved. Now, once you've already sent a newsletter, you're going to get this report. Now, you're also going to want to make a newsletter we can put in our archive. So, if you go to Sholem BC, we have a newsletter archive right here. So, the title is going to appear here, and if I click on here, I'm going to be taken to a page with the newsletter. Cool, right? So here we go. This is our last newsletter before December. So you notice how here it says Dear Friends, it doesn't say a personalized name. That's because I had to make a separate campaign. It looks a little bit unprofessional to have test first name here, so I make a new campaign. I send it to myself. I have a list called test, so I just use that, and it just goes to me, maybe to Yale, and that way you're able to have it look professional and ready for the archive. And when you want it to go into the archive, you go like this, and you go move to Shalom BC Newsletter Archive, and move. And it says, okay, I just did it. And then you're taken there. Good. If you ever want to delete a campaign, or anything else, you have to confirm it. You go delete. There we go. Okay, very nice. We'll move on to lists.